On December 28, 1992, 10-year-old Katie Beers awoke to a day filled with promise and excitement. With her birthday just around the corner, she was dragged by a family friend, John Esposito, to the local Spaceplex arcade for what she thought would be a fun outing. But what began as a day of joy quickly turned into a nightmare. As Katie entered the arcade, bright lights and laughter surrounded her, masking the sinister intentions of her captor. How could someone she trusted betray her so profoundly? What thoughts raced through Katie's mind as she realized she was in danger? Instead of games and laughter, someone took Katie to an underground bunker, a concrete prison hidden from the world. How did she endure such unbelievable circumstances? What kept the hope alive? Chapter 1. A Childhood Interrupted. Katie Beers was born on December 30th, 1982 in Mastic Beach. While most children dream of a life full of adventure and laughter, neglect and instability filled their early years. Katie grew up in a home, often feeling isolated and unwanted. Her family life typified dysfunction, with her mother struggling to maintain order. This lack of nurturing sets the stage for horrifying events that would unfold. Katie had already seen a childhood filled with so many difficulties at the tender age of 10. The problem was that this made her a good target for those with malicious intentions. Her life turned dark on December 28, 1992, when Katie was lured to Spaceplex Arcade by John Esposito on the promise of gifts and fun. Esposito was a family friend, an innocently simple outing turned into a nightmare. Esposito had sinister motives, even left Katie, taking her to an underground bunker built in his backyard. Chapter 2. The bunker. Was a small, gray concrete room, not more than 6 by 7 feet underground. It could be accessed through a secret tunnel shut off from the external world. For 17 painful days, suffering bondage and unimaginable cruelties, Katie spent confined in that tiny, coffin-sized room. The isolation and dread crushed her. She lost all sense of familiarity and safety. The investigation never ceased. It always pressed forward, always going after Katie. The plan translates: those nearest betrayed her, and her search became a bent web of deceit. Friends and relatives were questioned for leads, but on each occasion, they had no information regarding Katie. While the police kept looking for clues and talking to family and friends, Katie stayed in that dark corner beneath the bunker. The investigation underwent another increase in intensity, while posters with her cheerful face went up around Mastic Beach Sister, only to come and speak when one had Katie. The community unites at home. Candlelight vigils and prayers ran into an hourglass. Time was slipping Chapter 3. Fighting for Survival. In her bleak moments, Katie depends on her wits to survive. She closely observes Esposito and starts playing games with him. "What will happen when I go to school?" she would ask innocently. These questions doubt his mind about what he had planned for her future. In this way, she kept the conversations with her kidnapper as close to normal as possible, and built up a faith that would sustain her through the horror she was facing. Katie showed strength as she fought to keep some control over her terrorizing situation. She played with Esposito at times, feigning fear and gaining his sympathy. At other times, she was defiant enough to challenge his authority. Thus, a psychological arsenal of survival strategies. As it is possible, the investigation outside his house until 1993, 17 long days later, Esposito finally confessed to holding Katie captive. He led the police to the bunker, where she was found alive but traumatized. The rescue became a new chapter in Katie's life, and closed the old one with an as-yet unknown ending. Chapter 4. The Aftermath. Katie's rescue gave a glimmer of hope to many, but proved a further trial for her. She was a foster child, given, for the first time in her orphaned life, the love and support nature intended for her, but found lacking. With her caregivers showering her with love and attention, it proved difficult for Katie to adjust to life without the shadows of fear and abuse. This was not easy. It takes an immense amount of courage for a child to enter a new environment after experiencing such trauma. In the foster care system, Katie began attending therapy sessions, especially designed to assist children in dealing with trauma. These therapies offered her a suitcase of tools to help cope with the aftermath of what had happened to her. Katie began to share her information and open up about what had gone on in her life, sharing all the old nasty details that had been sealed away during moments of captivity. Years later, Katie reflected upon her experience with remarkable strength in numerous interviews about how it shaped her life and how she had managed to cope with the trauma. Later, she said in an interview, "If it didn't happen, then I wouldn't be where I am today." Her ability to find meaning in her suffering was an inspiration to many who face their battles. Chapter 5. A Life in Labor. Today, she is a survivor, a mother, and crusader for those who have suffered similar horrors. Her buried memories give countless people hope when their state is desperate. She shares her story with resilience about miraculous and which is generally silent. This experience provides a testimony to human resilience to adversity. Now she speaks at events, has attended support groups, and helped fellow survivors take their lives back after the trauma. Her advocacy work highlights the need for community support to help people overcome their adversities. Besides public speaking, Katie has worked with various collaborating groups to protect children and ensure their well-being. She uses her story and foundation to educate others on how to recognize signs of maltreatment and what to do if they find themselves in the unfortunate position of having to intervene. Chapter 6. The Impact on Society. Her story just went viral in the early 90s, when stories of child abduction were at the fore of public consciousness. Her case made society face some very uncomfortable realities about how America was protecting its children and the systems in place, often failing vulnerable children like Katie. Missing children received enormous scrutiny among law enforcement agencies throughout the country because of her rescue. Many began to advocate for the police to have more sensitive, efficient training regarding child abduction cases. Apart from police changes, Katie's story developed some urgency legislation for better child protection laws. There are demands for harsher punishment for offenders and more facilities for victims, changes which still echo today as society works its way out of issues related to the safety of children. If you or someone you know is being abused or neglected, help